when the top two classes of the Chinese intellectual infrastructure were pretty much out for most of the people, as they were not for everyone within the same system. What about the third and the last class left within this structure? This was a category for authors to write books. It sounded great in contemporary societies today, but back then, remember, this was a community with a great tradition when and where the followers and students had their honorable duty to sort through the very thought system and to compile them in books to publish, circulate, and to promote the very thought system of the great teachers. So imagine you write a book to promote your own name. That could be suspicious back then. What is your motive? So selfish? So while the first two top classes were very much above and beyond everybody, the mediocres, the third class probably appeared not so desirable to many. So with a bunch of mediocre bureaucrats / artists, it would be natural for them to find their escapes in the Chinese culture elite arts. It would make sense, wouldn't it? In fact, there was a term invented back then called ink play, which refers to playing with the ink brushes for calligraphy arts or for paintings. Yes, ink play. In fact, lots of them got together, they partied a lot. They did poetries, they did calligraphy arts, they did paintings all together when they got pretty high, between half drunk or completely fully drunk. Very inspirational. At least it was fun. So this was a society where and when professional artist was not the concept. I mean, that was basically the talents people could brag about with their own artworks to show off with. After all, they were old politicians and they had their daytime job to serve the court in loyalty to the emperors and try to help the ordinary people to make their life better, or at least a whole lot easier. So this was the background of the artists within that school of Chinese cultural and social elites. That was the intellectual, and that was the outlet of the intellectual to vent out their frustration, their anger. So they would have a very specific way to show off as a mediocre, as a professional politician. Go figure that. This is why when they communicate within their own little circles or inner circles, they did not have to be very explicit. They could afford to be subtle because the other people actually could get it. It was created and appreciated by the people of same exact training and very similar life experiences. And there was another reason for this subtle rooms preserved for interpretations, because back then, if you say the wrong words, even in the images of your paintings, there were some unfriendly politicians in court, and their job is pretty much to identify your dangerous intent that the court or the emperors would find not suitable. And that could result in jail terms or even risking losing your head. Now, that was why it had the tradition to remain subtle and to offer a lot of room for interpretations, because after all, you can tell or explain, hey, that's not what I mean, because that only represented this and that. When you look at the Western art history, similar things did not appear until 1950s and 1960s, when the Surrealism surfaced. There was different reason. Certainly, artists of contemporary societies did not have to worry about losing their head for their paintings.